All right, which one of these did you want to talk about first? The Cultural Icon Debasement Initiative I like. You said we were starting with Columbus, and that seems to be progressing pretty much on target.
Columbus has been a good start. He's
the father of the country. I think that's symbolically...
It has been.
The
founder. We've got a lot of emotionality wrapped up in that. He's already been put on mock trial, I believe, up in Canada, or near there. He was accused of genocide, ecocide, a plunderer, thief, murderer, disease spreader.
Now, what's the purpose of this? To again begin to write history as though and to instill the values of uncertainty, I don't want to say mistrust, but to understand that these were just people and probably ill-motivated.
Well, and also to try to undermine the sense of patriotism that a lot of people feel. And patriotism has some good aspects to it. But it is a barrier to internationalism. We need to break down the walls of nationalism, and one of the ways that you can do that is through destroying patriotism. We need to become a part of the global society, and one of the ways that you can do this is to attack society's cultural icons, anything that they identify with or feel pride in.
Now, you're not talking about the guy that took over the airline. Icon.
No.
You're talking about like symbols.
Literal old-fashioned, traditional, pioneer-type symbols. Jefferson is a good example. A lot of times you'll hear, what a great guy, Jefferson. Then you'll hear he was doing a little hanky-panky with his black slave in the back room. That's the kind of thing you need to throw in there.
So there's doubt.
There's doubt. And if you get it wrong, if you say Madison was doing that or Washington, it doesn't really matter. If you get one of those guys in that era and you can somehow kind of impugn them, something like that, in your conversations, so that people never really can feel too good about their history, and then they can start to doubt themselves and their national pride.
Right, and we can feel guilty for what great-great-great-great-grandfathers of people that maybe we weren't even here, our ancestors weren't here,
right.
But the way they treated the slaves or something.
Exactly. There's a lot of you can get really creative with this. There's George Washington, pathological liar. You could, and that's not a big stretch, really. I mean, you could build on that. The Boy Scouts. They're working on that right now. They're getting to town on that. There were fascist youth leagues in early Italy. Mussolini started those, and you can draw parallels to the Boy Scouts, and they're homophobic, bigoted, mean-spirited, destroying the environment. There's a number of things you can do, and just casual conversation, just so that nobody can really feel too good. And, we don't want to really, bummer,
and the value of this is to ease our entrance into the global ethic.
So that you just don't feel too darn good about your own country. You don't want to feel too nationalistic. You don't want to get that swelling in your bosom kind of thing, because that's really an animalistic response.
Now, is that to be reserved for the
global? Right, we're transferring. That's a very poignant insight you have there. We are transferring that to the global, and eventually we'll eliminate that and go to the universal, but you have to do this by degrees.